recording going.
Oh no, I was joking about that, man.
Oh,
I gotta go to bed.
I was like,
I was
it's like fuck
joking.
it, let's do it already.
I mean, we can do it, but like, should we go to one
Well, let's just do like a 10 minute thing.
10 minute thing? Like a ten, dude. This should be like a 10 minute commercial.
Well, just a 10 minute of idea. Like, what should we
Okay.
like bring to the table? Like, as far as um, I mean, content. Yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of things like that. But what like will be our first
I mean,
kind
to
of thing we
me,
do? Because we already got the podcasting going.
I like talking about my generations and its problems just because I don't think its problems are that big. That's
So
just me.
so we're gonna have so that's commentary.
Generation X.
It's kind of like a it's comedic comedy or not comedic comedic comedy
It's like
comedic
satirical.
commentary, huh?
It's like satirical or whatever it's called. Like satirical
Yeah,
comedy, where it's like,
comedic commentary, but it's also like opinionated, you know.
okay. Okay. What are you doing, man? I mean, we could talk about politics, but
Cause I mean, like I hate to like put
you can.
ourselves in a box.
I'm not on a game. You can check if you want.
What? Oh,
I know. Okay. Okay. Good night. I was talking to Regina.
oh, okay.
So we
So
got one idea, right?
yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to put us in a box. The reason I'm asking this is because like you gotta kind of brand yourself, and it sucks, but like we can. So, because in order to like get our stuff out there, we gotta put a certain kind of thing to it, like, because anyone could do like videos of like them playing the games or whatever, and play two videos, but like people follow like actual like people talking. You know what I mean? Like about something, even if it's nothing. At least it's like you put the effort in to like actually have a full fucking thought about something
Yeah. Yeah.
and a full like plan, like something that's giving you kind of some value, but also entertaining you.
Yeah.
So we gotta kind of find a way to like value. So I was thinking, like for my shit, like with I'm gonna do my computer channel.
Uh-huh.
I might just put it on the same thing, but like I'm thinking of
Yeah. I
like
was about to say, like, that's three different fucking channels there, Mondo.
yeah, I was thinking of like doing like going to like the DI, and it'll be like the like some because some people do this kind of. It'll be like junker buster, like see finding something and seeing if I could like
Fix it.
build like make it work again, or like so it'll be like a repair, and see how much I like saved from that, because that's kind of interesting and entertaining.
See, like I was all like, I just got of this idea. It's like that's a good one too, where kind of we can have little cutaways, like after we're done with a topic, or like a really long topic, or after like two topics, or after like 20 minutes to 25 minutes or to 30 minutes. Kind of it goes kind of off to a slideshow and plays like two clips of either like somebody's channel or like a joke commercial, like somebody's channel, so it like shows you kind of in a montage with the camera, like it's like sped up, so it's like you walking into like the DI, looking at a computer, picking it up, then it cuts to you like unscrewing it, opening, looking at it, and it's like a 30-second to a minute like little commercial thing, and then it shows you fixing it, and then it's all like Mondo Tech or some shit, and then it will go to the next commercial, and the next commercial I would like to be like kind of like a comedic act, like, again, we're always talking about welcome to Fat Guy's cooking tips. We can just, add that a little bit, or just like, a joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if that's too much or what, but I think it would be cool.
Right. So yeah. See, I had words in my mouth and then I just forgot them.
Sorry, that's my fault.
It's all good. But so like as far as the commentary, like you're gonna do commentary on your generation. So if we're gonna start a series, like how we start with that, like if we're writing a book or something, like the first chapter is like e-cigs and what was it, the faggot whistle or what?
Oh, the douche whistle.
Douche whistle.
Yeah, so it's Generation X and the douche whistle.
We should like going on that topic. We should like think of like 100 names. Like see what the 100 names are out there. Like what people like what we have first, and then that's probably like 10 or 20 or maybe 50. I don't know, however many names we could come up with, and then see what's out, like what they're called, like the slang. Like, cause every place has their own slang. Like I heard people call it jewels, and I was like, what the fuck?
No, a jewel is a type of it. So you have a dab pen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So a jewel is like the new big thing. Like it's just a brand.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, to me, like, kind of all comes up to the same thing, and like, I don't know. Like most kids, like the reason why a lot of kids get into it is, the reason for, vaping was to help people get off of, smoking so much cigs or like to cut down on their nicotine. But now it's used more as, a trend or a cool thing you can do, especially in Generation X, because it's cool, it's new, it's whatever. Like I got friends that do it, and I'm not gonna diss them or whatever. I'm just like it's used as a trend. There's no reason why anybody from my generation should be into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Cause it's mostly for a fad. It wasn't like, I mean, we're so like technologically advanced and blessed, and like fucking we have so much resources in this country, and like there's a lot of people doing well. Even our poor is doing well, because think about it, our poor even have cell phones. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen like the poor people, but like, they were giving out, they called them Obama phones when Obama was president. And I guess they're Trump phones, but anyways, like I just don't feel comfortable with the phone. But it was a free phone. You get like, at first it started like you get a certain amount of minutes and a certain amount of text, like 200 per month, just at least to call the important people. And then it turned into, oh, you get unlimited, you get freaking
Maybe we should go poor.
like a gig of data,
Oh
and it's
God.
like, yeah, bro. And some of the places gave you 2 gigs, and you get like a pretty decent phone. Like I paid $100 for the phone I got back then. It was like a HTC Evo, the first one that could do 3D pictures. And then a year later, like when my brother started doing bad, or like not a year, probably 2 3 years later, then he got the same exact phone. I was like, motherfucker, what? They gave that shit to you for free? What? And then
So,
I ended up giving him a case that I had for it,
no.
but and he still ended up losing it. But anyways, that was a whole other story. What were you gonna say?
Nothing. And then, I mean, it's just it comes down to that, and then we can kind of move see, like it's just I don't know. My generation and its problems with the things it does is just to me makes no sense. Like I get it, time has changed. Like in the '80s, a certain type of music was cool. Now, mumbling faggots are cool. I don't understand that part, but I guess it's what people are into. But
Yeah, just
I
like,
think this generation or Generation X, my generation, is so cuddled and just too much where shit like this becomes a problem. Shit like having mumbling rappers that only talk about drugs, pussy, and thoughts. I mean, I get it. Some songs, some rap old ones would talk about, hoes and pussy, but there was more to it. There was more lyrical to it. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing that they were rapping about it, but I'm just saying there was just more to it. Nowadays, I think there was this one song that I think was made by 6ix9ine where it only had like 20 words in it. Well, like 20 of the same words, and then it would just repeat itself.
jeez.
And like to me, they want to call themselves rappers, and
Well,
coming back
that's not
to the
winning lyricist of the
original.
word. Oh, that's not winning lyricist of the year award.
Exactly. I mean, coming back to original rappers, they were based on, more lyrics than anything. And my problem is with them, they're not really rappers because they don't use lyrics to their advantage. They don't do it at all. They just kind of sing. It's not the best thing. What the fuck? Are you showing me this?
Look at how small those lips are.
Why do you have that picture saved?
Because I was having a debate with somebody on Facebook, and I thought it was stupid afterwards. Like I was like stupid for even
Stop
getting into
debating
it.
them with people on Facebook. We talked about this, Macho.
Yeah. Well, no, no, this is the old one. I haven't
Oh,
done it since, but basically we're arguing about like Trump's a homophobe or Pence is a homophobe. It's like, come on, you're gonna believe he's a homophobe? They're fucking every night.
do you not think Pence is a homophobe?
No, I mean he his like I don't know him personally. He doesn't. He just believes that like gay marriage is wrong. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's a homophobic, but he's not a. I mean, I would say he's against it. I mean, he's very religious. Him and his wife sleep in different beds, I believe.
oh shit, he don't even fuck his wife. Damn.
Like that's how religious he is. Is like he'll sleep in a different bed.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know it's bad, man. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just saying, like he's.
Nah, I couldn't do that. I mean, that's a lot of restraint.
See, and then that comes back to Generation X, where again, times change. I understand that. Like 300 years ago, like it's not okay for the stuff that our kids are doing nowadays than 300 years ago, which is um, which would be just sleeping together. I mean, that's kind of a problem. But kids 300 years ago were doing tobacco. Nowadays, that's frowned upon. You shouldn't be doing that. 200 years ago, you weren't really put like guy and a girl or boy and a girl weren't really supposed to talk to each other. That was frowned upon. Now you're supposed to. Actually, here's a better one where women don't really had that much rights. That was believed back then, and now today I mean that's totally wrong. We see that now, and again times change, but there's just some stuff that shouldn't change, like laws not to kill people. I mean that's just not changing. I mean that shouldn't change. Like rapping should stay lyrical, not you know fucking retarded. You know what I mean?
Like these fucking lips, they're fucking so tiny.
They're so plump too.
It's hilarious. But yeah, so let me take off my screen. I just want to have something in the background because I'm just recording it.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, like that lyrical shit. Like I forgot what point I was actually gonna say, but the uh, the lyricism is definitely is not. People don't care for lyricism that much anymore. They're starting to care. I'm starting to hear more lyrical shit, but the shit is it's it's ghost written, and that's kind of like a
exactly.
big thing. Like singers, it's always like if you're a singer, yeah, fine, somebody could write a hook for you. But some singers will, some R&B singers wouldn't do that. They like to write their own shit. Like, you know what I mean. But it also there's like you as a rapper, like you would always have to like write your shit.
Exactly.
Like, how are you gonna ask somebody else to write your shit? Then you shouldn't call yourself a lyricist.
Exactly. And
You could call
again,
yourself a songwriter, but you're not gonna call yourself a lyricist.
yeah. I was gonna say something. I forgot. I just had a brain fart like you. Um, like I,
And this is an absolute. I mean, this is just like that's what it was, at least in
yeah.
the '90s.
I
I mean,
the
coming up.
thing with Generation X too is just everything's so trendy. Like most kids base their life on trends. Like I realized this when I was like in the fifth grade, fourth grade, where kadamas were a big thing. They were like Japanese toys with a ball and a string and then like a stick, and you had to like land it on the stick or do shit with it.
I know that toy. I love that toy.
And I bought one for like $20. I made my mom buy it, and then I realized I was like, fuck, dude, I'm not even really into this. It was just what everybody was into, and it spreaded. And that's just what happens. I mean,
Yeah,
stuff spreads, but I feel like Generation X takes it to another level.
yeah, especially like trends are cool to try, and then it's like, well, I'm not really that into butt sex. You know what I mean? Then you find out things about yourself, but also like butt sex. I mean, I wouldn't even consider that possibility. Only in like hypotheticals. Like you know what I mean?
I'm kind of biased towards this because I'm gonna like some trends and hate some other trends.
Oh, yeah,
But
but I know what you're saying. Like people are just trend followers. Don't be like a trend follower. Be like a
exactly,
like follow a trend, but make up your decision for yourself. Don't just like blindly go
exactly,
about it till it dies and then go to the next trend. And you're kind
exactly.
of like just chasing something.
That's the biggest problem nowadays. Is nobody in my generation is original or tries to be original. They all base it off of something. They all try to act like this person. And it's fine to try to act like that person, but they don't give it their own twist. Like it's kind of scary because
No.
I mean, in a way, they're kind of just becoming mindless zombies.
What if that was the way to cloning? Like you would have to just
Shit.
invent a drug that keeps someone so sedated that they just copy everything you do. You know what I mean?
Thing is,
And
the
then
drug's not a drug. It's just humans.
also
Humans
maybe just
animatronics.
hypnotism or some kind of magic or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like some kind of voodoo shit. That's how cloning is gonna be figured out. Well, we just discovered this race of what do you call them, Aztecs. You know, these guys have survived this long, and they shared with us their technology of mind control.
Yeah, and like other things too is like I get like I don't get trends, but I get some sort of styles. Like Yeezys can cost a lot. Like name brands like Supreme and Gucci can cost a lot. The thing is yes, they're semi good quality. You can find better quality for cheaper, but they're overpriced just because they're a brand name. They're not even like they're good. I'm not gonna say they're bad, but they're not as good as everybody comes out to be because they're just brand names. So a little Gucci bag can sell for $2,000 when a bigger, better satchel that fits better can sell for $70 and last you longer. It's again like it's shit they spend money on. It's just pointless.
And like the material isn't that much, and you could probably
Exactly,
buy it yourself for less and
and
make a
most of
better
it's
product.
yeah, and most of it's sweatshop. Like I think the reason why Apple's so big is like again they have good technology, but me and Lawrence actually looked at this. Their tablet Lite that came out a while back ago was basically their regular tablet, but they just took storage, CPU, and RAM out of it.
Wow.
And they said it was better. Like it's what they're doing. Like this shit's made in sweatshops too, and it's
Alright, well, I mean, all the pieces that they come from like are from different places, but once they're like
exactly.
bigger pieces, like into the, you just have to connect two things, then
See,
that's the
like
sweatshop thing.
exactly, like an iPhone probably costs to make around like I'm gonna question that I'm gonna just random like 100 to 300, but most of them sell up to 9,000 like 900 to $1,000, which is just extremely overpriced. Like I get it, they're trying to make a profit, but that profit's just way too big, and people would pay money for this for shitty phones like iPhones. Again, I'm gonna diss on these guys. iPhones die fast. I mean, they die faster. They die fast. There's a lot of glitches that happen with them. I like, they're notorious Apple wares. Like, they don't get what is it called? They don't get like bugs or viruses, but like there's a lot of problems with them. Like iPhones, I've seen friends where their phones at 63% will just drop to 21%.
Yeah, yeah, because they're
And
putting in not so great batteries.
exactly, and then it I know a friend that today at school was charging his phone for an hour and a half, and then he's all like, "Whoa, 20% in an hour and a half?" And I'm like, "Dude, 1 second. My phone takes 35 minutes to charge fully from zero."
Yeah, this is part of only putting like 1,500 megahertz milliamp hour
Exactly.
batteries when people are putting in 3,000 and above in Android ones.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
And
like the cheapest one. Like, yeah, well, it lasts a long time, but it could buffer YouTube like a champ.
yeah, and like that's the problem too. Is just like it's a name brand, so everybody loves it. All the quote unquote cool kids have an iPhone because it's a name brand, and it also comes down to like another thing where it's just like, people diss on iPhones. Like, okay, quote unquote, all the
Mm.
cool kids or all the people that usually have iPhones will diss on iPhones and like joke about the camera and the emojis. Emojis, I don't use often, so I can't be like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting off. Okay, fuck, man. But
I don't
oh,
know. I didn't know it was bedtime. Well, I was just gonna play devil's advocate real quick. I
okay,
was just gonna say like, I mean, yeah, it's overpriced, and I think it's probably their worth of like never getting a virus. Like, is if we're talking about Mac, is like probably 100 or 200 more. But they're let's estimate about 400 from what anything normally costs. Like let's say $600 machine
hmm,
is basically what Apple is, and just I'm just estimating, and let's say they're charging, but they are charging about upwards of 1,000 for these things, right? So if you're just because of the brand name is either like getting that $400 extra because it's all the same like essential
yeah.
parts. An equivalent machine would cost less.
And it's
But if
funny.
it so
Well, sorry, continue.
devil's advocate would be if you had a brand that was giving you $400 just to put your name on it, extra, in and you could charge $400 extra. How long would you do that for? You know what I mean? How long would you keep that going before you're like, you know what? I'm gonna cut that. It's probably not likely to do that so early. You know what I mean? You want to milk that shit so you can
That's the
fuck.
problem, is that these companies are able to milk it because this generation is just too fucking retarded to realize, hey, this shit's not even that good because this is better. Me and Lawrence watched a video that was a guy that went into like, like I think like a DI place, had $100 and was able to build a better working computer than a new Mac.
Jeez.
Like it was horrible. Like in this generation, again, they're trend followers. They're not gonna look into it. They're gonna say, hey, that kid has, or that guy has, this, and that's what makes it cool. I don't care if it costs this and this actually works better. Let's just get that. A perfect one is like fidget spinners. Everybody was into fidget spinners. The people that have fidget spinners still actually use it for their ADHD. They realize it helps, but they got banned from schools or certain places because kids were just taking them because it was a trend, and it was horrible for the kids that actually needed them.
Fuck. So they would sell out for the people that actually needed them. Oh
I
my
mean, they
god.
wouldn't sell out. There was a lot of them, but like some kids in class would actually need something to fidget with, or they couldn't pay attention or shit like that.
Oh, so the
And
school provided the fidget spinners. Is that what you're
no,
saying?
no.
Oh.
So
Oh.
everybody was bringing their fidget spinners to school, and the kids that didn't even have ADHD and were just had them because they were quote
And
unquote cool in a trend, they would bring them to school and they would just fuck with them. They weren't spinning them the right way. They were throwing them at each other, and guess what happened? Most schools banned fidget spinners, and so it came down to the kids that actually needed them, or them spinning it actually helped them pay attention,
oh, okay,
or
I get it now.
they
Okay.
couldn't use it because kids like that just banned the shit.
That's tore up. I
Yeah,
didn't make that connection. Like, so I
it
guess
was
that's a
fucked
good
up.
thing to end on. Like, or it's a sad thing to end on, but don't let that happen to your kids. Don't let the trends get in your way. That's a way of trends. How would you say? That's a way of trends fucking shit up for people.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it didn't completely ruin people's lives, but I mean, it could have potentially stopped a lot of kids from actually learning more than they should.
Yeah, it ruined the autistic kid's ability or ADHD kid's ability to have something useful in class that'll help
Exactly.
them. That's not that distracting until everyone turned it into a fucking trend, and then boom. But now I can't. What if like they allowed like your sister, not your sister, but like what if they allowed like some chick to be in the class like for high schoolers, and it's like you gotta relieve some stress, and she just sucks your dick, for between periods, and then you they find out that you get to focus more, and then you're studying in class, and then you're passing on your grades, you're getting an A, but then they take that away because it's a trend now. Like that sucks. I'm not for that.
Yeah,
Maybe that's probably too extreme, but
I get the analogy you're making, or the I get what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, it's just like this generation is simply not the best generation. We have the best technology that ever happened. We're in the best place that we could ever be in to date, like through human history. But what are we doing with it? We're I'm not gonna say skipping school, but you know,
We're just not. Well, no, we're in school. We're just not paying attention.
we're not paying attention. We're too busy trying to act different or with the group to be with these trends, to spend money on these trends, to do stuff with, other people. I find more originality in like lower poverty places or like just lower income places. Like kind of like how the higher up you go, the more kinds of weird shit you find. Like art, like richer art is like abstract art, and abstract art's cool to a point. Like I love looking at the paintings with all these colors just splashed on it, but when it's just a red dot or something really basic, I mean, I'm not everybody, but it just comes to a point where like this isn't art. This is just some painter that's, popular, that's able to do this and get
Following a trend.
$1,000. Yeah, exactly. It's just it, it's horrible. Like I'm not saying Generation X is the first to do this because trends have affected, every generation, shit like that.
Yeah,
But it's just, it's gotten worse.
and the painting, that art thing that goes back to hip hop art. Like it's like these non-lyrical rappers are just like not really artists. They're just trenders, or if you want to call it. But it's also the that doing, just getting rich off a trend. I like that they're making their money, but at the same time, it's um it's kind of depressing in a sense because it's like, people aren't actually, maybe they are trying their best, but it just feels like it's not, because they're not like actually challenging. But also, it also says about society that, if, these guys wouldn't be popular if society wasn't kind of like that. They weren't relating in some way. So society relates by just having a, not a brain dead person. I want to say brain dead, but they're not brain dead. They have some brain skills to be making money. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's a lot that they need. So it's like, they have these people, but people are following them that are of the same kind of yoke, if you so to speak. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Going on that term though, it's like I've noticed a lot. Like Generation X, in first world countries, suicide rates are high. Uh, I got a couple reasons for this. Is just because you know the music you hear now is either basically shitty rappers or really just kind of like I've listened to my cousin's playlist or my friend's playlist, and they're kind of quoted as love songs, but they're just like they're dark, they're disgusting, they're scary. They're just like they're depressing, and if you listen to depressing stuff, it just makes you depressed and makes you think of like what's wrong with life. And I feel like that's the problem now is like, a kid won't get their fidget spinner. Oh, their life is such shit. So let's listen to bad music that makes you feel even worse because it's a depressing music. It's gonna make you feel worse. If you listen to a sad song, it's probably gonna make you sad. And like I've noticed this, it's either brain dead mumble rappers or just sad music that's quoted as something else that's not even good music. Like I was listening to this one song and it was all like, I love you, but if you leave me, I'll be sad and like I'll do something about killing myself. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe that's why the '90s generation is more like could bear things, even though we're kind of like the millennials. But like, cause '90s hip hop, I always listen to it. It actually made me feel like sometimes wanna slap a bitch and go rob a hoe. You know what I mean? Like whatever, or not in that order. Maybe slap a hoe and rob a bitch. Maybe that's more uh accurate. Maybe wanted to say fuck the police, but like sometimes you're like, well, I kind of need the police. I need to, get
Yeah,
a restraining order on this person, Cause
And
he's crazy as hell, and he keeps coming at my door asking for cookies, and we ain't got no cookies for him anymore. Last time we gave him cookies, he tried to come in and stab everyone, so we're not down with him coming through. We don't want to kill him, but he just needs to stay the fuck out of our house.
yeah,
But on that note, like, it just means, I guess we could title this like, trends and how it can become the slow killer. Because it's like killing on a low level, like low key level, like in like a incognito form, like it's hiding and killing us like slowly, or it's killing not just one person, like America. Maybe this is the downfall of
oh
America.
no, I mean, it's killing more than America. Don't get me wrong. Like any first world country suffering from this. I mean,
Well, it doesn't affect. I mean, third world and fourth world, like worst countries go
second
get
world mostly.
second world and third world go
Uh,
down the drain and shit.
exactly. Like I know in the UK and Japan, suicide rates are bad, but you know, it, Japan's kind of ahead of us in technology. Uh,
Well, how many people would other countries give protection for? You know what I mean? Like America like protects a lot of countries, and yeah, it's not good to like always be in fucking war, but like we got the protection for countries that are too small to like protect themselves, so we step in and like protect them, and that's a good thing. But like, how many other countries would probably do that? You know what I mean? But maybe it's profitable, so maybe it's not as good as they seem. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know all the information on that, so I can't really comment. But we should probably get off because it's supposed to be 10 minutes and we're like at 30.
oh, oh, okay. Well, wait. We need to do our intro real quick, and then we can just slice this part out, and then you can put it in the front. What is it? My name is Juan,
And I'm Jose.
and this is Taco
Taco
Talk,
Talk.
but not really, because we're American.
Yeah, what he said. Oh shit. All right. Well, on that note, I guess I'll stop recording.